All right, everybody, welcome to the Safe Haven. We are here with Serge. Everybody, I want to let you guys know that nothing you hear is financial advice from us. We are just here so you guys can get a more in-depth look at the team and what they're doing and the things that come with the project so you can make the best decision possible with your money. All righty, so what we're going to do this is we're going to have the team demonstrate some things for us. We're going to ask them some questions. And once we get done that, we'll get to the giveaway. The way we're going to run it is we're going to do the best question is going to be 0.2 BNB, 0.1 BNB for trivia, another 0.1 BNB for trivia, and then 0.1 BNB for a random question. All right, you guys, let's get into it. So without further ado, STF and Albino Rhino, what's up, guys? Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey man, glad to be here on the Safe Haven. Love the venue a lot. Thanks for having us. I'm STF. I came with Albino Rhino, and we made Surge Protocol, which is a completely new decentralized exchange that changes the way that we trade our tokens on Binance Smart Chain and on Ethereum. So yeah, we are in the space since quite a lot of time. We mainly worked in marketing other tokens, and we have this idea for this protocol since quite a long time. I think it was beginning of 2021 when I saw this project called Xsurge, which had this unique feature of storing its own liquidity inside of the token contract. Problem was that they had a vision for their project that went a completely different path than what we have today. It was mainly focused on increasing the price of their own token artificially by rebasing. It was not successful in a way. But this idea never left the back of my head. So we just kept it for the right moment, and got Heisenman involved as well to take a look at this. And he said this has way more potential than what Xsurge, the other project that we saw initially had. Just by storing the liquidity inside of the token contract, it gives the project much more options to reshape the space as a whole, because it can interact with other tokens. So we started working on this idea. We started getting into details. Heisenman also discovered more and more details about it that we could implement, and we did so. And out of all of this, working on the project for a few months, we then came out with this project as a stealth launch with a starting market cap of 5K USD. And yeah, today we just hit an ATH on both chains, BSC and ETH. BSC at 1.2 million, and ETH, I think, did we hit 800K? Something around that number. So it is gaining traction now, and we are here to present the reasons for it.
All righty, that's what's up, you guys. So let's go just a bit deeper, man. What made you guys want to create Surge in the first place?
So I think the sentiment in the space as a whole was very, very negative. I think everyone agrees on that. So what we saw in the space, especially in 2022, which was a horrible year for crypto as a whole, was on one side, centralized players, centralized exchanges causing huge catastrophes for the space. Think of Luna Terra. The outfall of this is still like causing a chain reaction in the whole crypto space, just because centralized players have too much power in crypto and in politics as well. then the FTX scandals, countless hacks of bridges and other protocols. So too much centralization seems to be a really harmful thing for crypto as a whole. So what we are seeing right now is a clear shift towards more decentralization, as crypto was intended to be in the first place. So this is one side of the sentiment. Now, the other side of this sentiment is how our current decentralized space is currently working. And there are two major players that those are Uniswap on Ethereum and PancakeSwap on Binance Smart Chain. So now how these guys do it is you create a token if you want to launch a token project. Then you need to add liquidity to your liquidity pool. You need to add BNB or ETH to this liquidity pool in order to enable trading of this project. Now, you can either fund it from your own funds, or you can host a pre-sale and raise these funds in advance. So you have large sums of capital that are just stored inside of these liquidity pools in order to start trading. All right. So even before the token is really live, you are already putting tons of money into these liquidity pools on Uniswap or PancakeSwap. And what happens then is after you enable trading, every investor of this project pays 0.3% trading fees on Uniswap and 0.25% on PancakeSwap. So it sounds like it's a small number, but it adds up if you think about it. The 0.6% round trip, if you trade a lot, like you buy and sell tokens a lot during the course of months and years, there is a large sum of money that is extracted from your portfolio, which you are not getting in return into your investment portfolio. So if we
and one extra thing here too, as we're like going through some of the inspiration of like why we did it too, to add on to it, is like the lack of volume, right? Like, you know, I think we all can agree, like the volume has just, it feels like it's tanked recently. I'm sure you were going to go into this too, STF, but it's like the volume itself on chain through BSC and through Ethereum, like it's kind of going through these waves of just like, it feels like it's dead a little bit. And we were putting our heads together like, well, obviously the crypto market plays a huge factor in that, but not only that, like there is tens of millions of dollars locked away in liquidity pools that teams have access to, that nobody has access to. It's just on this third-party platform. There's all this dead liquidity money that's just chilling here. And then we had to attribute some of that slowdown to the fact that all this dead money is just sitting there, right? Or it's all going into one person's wallet when the time for unlock comes, right? So there's like tens of millions, tons and tons of money is just sitting there, just waiting to get redeemed here whenever the developer comes online. Sorry for the bell in the background, but SDF, I don't know if you wanted to keep going on that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that. You also see what Albino saw if you look at the volume chart in PancakeSwap. If you look at the screen, this is the 24-hour volume on PancakeSwap. Like this right here was it was 2021. Everyone was bullish in this period of time. So you can see a steady decline in volume, but this chart looks like it's very, very flat at the end, but we are still talking about $113 million in trading volume in only 24 hours. Now, doing the math, 0.25% of this volume means there are $283,000 in trading fees extracted from traders' portfolios every day. Now, the numbers are more extreme on Uniswap because the volume is much higher there and the fees are also higher. So we are speaking about $502,000 of trading fees. Sorry, 1.5 million US dollars in trading fees every day. Like it's not like a month or so. There is 1.5 million US dollars missing from traders every day. So this is the first problem. And what Albino was saying about this liquidity issue is that these huge liquidity pools after large raises, after big pre-sales, these liquidity pools are oftentimes locked for months or even a year or maybe longer, and nobody has access to it. Nobody can really work with these funds. These funds are missing in our daily volume, basically. What happens oftentimes in projects with owners that have bad intentions, they just promise you the world in these pre-sales. They promise you utilities that you never heard about, raise tons of money in the pre-sale, and then you notice that their activity slowly but steadily drops down, and it just feels like nothing is moving anymore. And the only target, you notice that the only target that these project owners had was raising this amount of money, then waiting for the liquidity pool to unlock, and then draining it, and it goes into their own pockets. Now, this is obviously wrong because the liquidity pool does not belong to a project owner, it belongs to investors. So we came up with this protocol to change this forever. Now, what we did was we created this. I teased it before. We created a smart contract that does not have an external liquidity pool. It stores the liquidity inside of the token contract, and it looks like this. So this is the contract from Surge on BSC. Now you see, this is the balance, 85,000, and you can see the liquidity pool if you go to the read function of the contract. So you go to get liquidity, and then you have it. Okay, you can then click here and get the conversion. This is the current liquidity pool, and you can trade this by writing buy or writing sell. Now, the mind-blowing part of this is, if you launch a project on Surge, or as we did it, we launched Surge, we did not have a single BNB in liquidity when we enabled trading. This means it starts at zero, all the tokens are inside of the token contract, and the first person who buys it is the first token holder. So there are no team tokens, no airdrops, nothing. And we therefore got rid of the need to even provide any initial funding to a project.
That, go ahead.
Yeah, there is also more features to this one, as there is no, obviously, I think it goes without saying, there is no way for us as a dev team to get access to this liquidity pool. There is no way to rock this liquidity or wait for it to unlock and then taking it. The only way to get the BNB out that are stored inside of this token contract is by selling tokens that you bought in the first place. So you can empty this contract only if every single holder sells their tokens. And by that point, the contract is empty, but everyone was able to sell. So there is no downside to choosing this model over the model that we are used to on Uniswap or PancakeSwap, and it works the same way on Ethereum as well. So the other feature is that there are no trading fees. The 0.3% and the 0.25% that you saw before on Uniswap and PancakeSwap respectively, we do not have that. Trading is free at all times. What we do have is taxes on buys and sells, which are then continuously decreased as the project grows. But in terms of trading fees for using the swap, there is none. So this is the second major feature that we have. Of course, having a new swap, you need to learn many things usually, but we chose to keep it simple. There is no way to get front run in our token, because we have a built-in front run protection, so no sandwich attacks are possible, and therefore choosing the slippage and the deadline is up to you. So there is just less things that you can do wrong compared to PancakeSwap. And we also made sure that the process of buying and selling tokens is as easy as possible by providing a swap that is not complicated to use. So I can show it to you in 10 seconds, basically. You have the swap open, you select which contract you're going to buy, connect your wallet, type in the amount of BNB you want to buy, then press buy. That's it. So this is the central point of the contract, of the project itself. That we are a decentralized exchange, and we will also speak about how other projects can integrate into our protocol.
Wow, that is huge. So these guys are pretty much making these guys have pretty much made the most decentralized thing that you can get. All right, these guys are making the most decentralized thing you can get in this space so far that we have ever seen. You know, what they're doing is absolutely insane. No one has ever done anything like this. No one has ever done anything like this before. And I can't see anything that matches this. I mean, everything is dope. Everything is great here. You guys hear the team's passion as to why they wanted to build this in the first place and what their overall mission is, man. They really want to overlap PancakeSwap and Uniswap and give people some place where you genuinely know that you can't be rug pulled or honeypotted, man. And so they are solving arguably the biggest issue that we've ever seen in crypto, which is scams. And I don't know about you guys, but from what they're saying, I could easily see this being a situation to where people are going around saying, hey, look, if it's not launching on Surge, I'm not buying it, because that's the only way I know I'm not going to get scammed for a fact, you know? Well, this is just amazing, man. But next question I have for you guys is, the project is amazing, but tell us something about you guys' background in the space. How should we trust that you guys can run this successfully?
I think this is a very interesting question, because we had this question come up sometimes in the project chat, like, are the devs doxed? Okay, so the clear answer to this is we are not doxed, but we also don't have to be doxed, because the most important thing about doing your due diligence is look at the ways that these devs could screw up the project, to put it mildly. So the contract is audited by solidproof.io, and they also testified we have no point, we have no way to extract this liquidity pool from the contract, and there is also no way for us to increase the taxes over a certain limit, which in our case is 10%. So there's also no way to make the token a honeypot at all. So the only thing that matters right now is what are our intentions with this protocol. So our intentions, of course, are to drive it to higher highs, to make it more widely adopted, and to increase its user base. And but on a side note, by the way, PancakeSwap devs are also not docs.
Also, to add on to it too, like I mean, I think a lot of people that are in this, you know, this AMA or like on the channel, they know about us, they've heard about us, they've interacted with us, or they've seen us in some way, right, in their BSC or Ethereum experience. So like we're not like we might be like a you know, a somewhat familiar name in communities, but more so than that, we've had like some experience on the project side in terms of successes and whatnot, and a lot of it I think has conditioned all of us. I think I'm trying to think, yeah, all of us to be better and to really bring out our full potential in this one, if that makes sense. So like we have experience in this space, and we've had successes in those projects just based on what they are. But more so than anything, we have that experience to know what we tried on those projects, you know, and we're all pretty analytical in that sense, where we are measuring everything that we're doing, right, if it has success or failure. And I think we all do it to a certain degree. But I know that everybody, SDF and Heisman, do as well. You're measuring everything you do to kind of gauge the, you know, how things are going, and then you apply that knowledge to the next project and to the next project, and you know, it just kind of continues to stack a little bit. So if you've been a part of quality projects and you've been able to find success in those quality projects, it may not like have been the absolute like top 50, top 100 game changer every time that your name's attached to your project, but if you've had successes, a lot of successes, and you know, you've offered people chances to make a lot of money, and you've learned every time through that. You know, when you get a project with this much potential, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? When you put all those ingredients together, like that's the biggest, I think, selling point here, is that we've had some amazing projects, we've worked on some great projects, but you know, a project with this kind of potential, I think, is really going to unlock all of our best abilities. Speaking just of myself and STF and Heisman, in terms of him as a dev, you know, STF as just a community leader and project owner and project leader, and myself as marketing, I think it just really pushed us to be the absolute best having a protocol like this. That's just my take on it.
Understood, man. Understood. That's pretty. Hey, look, that's dope right there, man. And could you go into the successes of your previous projects too? You didn't really go deep into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually just responding to some. Okay. Oh, my bad, man.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So we did Last Ape Standing, STF, myself, and then Abbas, who's the developer and owner of Maestro. We did Last Ape Standing last April, I believe, right? Am I on the right time? Yeah, last April, which had an awesome run up to, I think, close to 6 million, or maybe like a little bit over $6 million market cap. And it was experimental, right? It was never been done before. It was very exciting. It was fresh for the space, and we love to have that element every time we come to a project, of having something innovative and fun and fresh for the space. And we definitely did that. It was forked quite a bit afterwards. I mean, tens of times afterwards, between pre-sales and people trying to replicate fair launches. And it was a tough protocol. It was really demanding. I'm not gonna lie, that was a tough experience. But I think we brought it to where it was destined to go. It could have gone maybe a little bit further, but I feel really good about that one, being experimental and brand new to the space, and how much traction it got afterwards from the developers and how intrigued people were. Thought that one was awesome. We've also were on Jackpot Universe, which was essentially like the relaunch of Last Ape Standing. Had a really awesome turnout for the pre-sale. Learned a lot of lessons in that one too. You know, I don't want to blame the market or anything. We learned a lot of lessons in that one, and I think that those are all applicable, and they're all I can put all those, and STF and I both can put those lessons learned into this project to make them a success, right? Like, I don't think either of us we're super happy with the accomplishments on Judy, but we did have some successes on it. We learned a lot of lessons, and overall it was a good time. Before that, I had Ultra Safety, which was a fork of like one of those high APY forks, and a few other various smaller projects as well. But STF, if you want to go through some specifics, go ahead.
Yeah, just to represent Heisemann here as well. He cannot make it into the AMA because he's working, but what he is doing, he is also the owner of another project which is called SAS. Many of you guys probably know about his token scanner bot, which is SAS ScanBot, and he has a very large user base, and the project itself is like around this utility, and it's very popular. So, but he's also in the space for a very long time, since the early SafeMoon days, and he's very experienced when it comes to coding, when it comes to also how from the investor perspective. So having him on the team is very valuable to us. So that's about ourselves, basically.
All right. Achilles has got a question for you guys, I believe. So let me go ahead and let him come off the mic, and Achilles can ask his question.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
So,
Achilles.
What up, man?
Hey, it's nice to meet you, Albino and STF. This is my first time hearing your voice, so very cool, very cool. All right. So, I mean, as a promoter, I gotta say, the coolest thing about like promoting search projects is the fact that I don't have to vet nearly as much because the tokenomics of the chain keep my investors safe, right? But from an investor standpoint, I'm sorry, from a developer standpoint, I'm completely ignorant. So let's say I'm a new dev. I want to launch on Surge. Would you guys give me a brief description of that project, of that process?
Yeah, we provide the template contract for a so-called SRG20 token. So that's how we call a token that can trade on the Surge protocol. We provide the template for it, and there are only a few parameters that have to be changed before being able to deploy it. The name, the ticker, the amount of taxes, the receiving address for these taxes, stuff like this, and you basically deploy this contract, and then you're ready to go. That's it.
And what is customizable about the contract? Like, what is the maximum taxes that I can set? What are the tokenomics that usually come with it? I noticed there's been a few reward tokens on Surge. Is that the only, I guess, like small utility options that the CA has so far?
So the template itself is, as I said, a template. So if you want to do a token with linear taxes, like for example, a portion of the tax goes to the team, a portion to the taxes goes to marketing wallet. Or if you want to do a contract that burns SRG tokens, or a token that has rewards, we have templates for that. Now, if you want to do tokenomics that fits a different thing, maybe because you have a token that offers a staking solution, or anything that is different from this template, because every token project is of course very unique, the developer has to add this to the code himself.
Okay, and there are no restrictions as to what will work on SRG20 as far as like adding code. So let's say I want to do like a last man standing CA or something like that. That's going to be no issue on Surge.
It should be no issue on Surge. There are some parts of the contract that have to match the template in order to be tradable with on SurgeSwap. So just to have this compatibility to SRG, this has to be given. And besides that, there are almost no limitations.
I think we lost you just there at the end. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he pretty much covered it. Like, you know, there aren't any limitations. The cool thing is, I won't get into like too much of like the future plans and stuff until we get there, but we do plan on having like this very, very vast library of very, you know, functional, updated, dynamic, you know, different kinds of contracts that people will, you know, can utilize that have either been like, you know, previously audited, or they come through our very, you know, tight developer circle. Something to those effect, where we'll have this library that people can access to.
Excellent. That answered my next question. Surge to the moon. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, of course. So one of the future plans that we've been like really vocal on, just because it kind of goes hand in hand with that as well, is that we can't wait to you know, launch our LaunchBot. That's going to be a big thing for us. So I'm not sure if we were going to go into like the future stuff, but I'll just go right into it. Like the LaunchBot is going to be a big player for us. It's going to give the ability, you know, think Toker-esque, I guess, in a way of just functionality wise, just to kind of like conceptualize it. But with the options to have a ton of different styles of contracts, and obviously within our very unique ecosystem as well. So we're going to have the ability to, and we're going to make that very, very easy for folks to come and take advantage of everything that we have to offer here, which is like, you know, no liquidity needed, and you know, just basically be able to start a project from gas fees, and then traders being able to enjoy, you know, zero gas, a much safer environment. It just has pros for everybody. You know what I mean? And making this very accessible through a LaunchBot is going to be huge for the project, I feel.
Brings up one more question that I got here. So, like, you're launching with zero liquidity. So when I purchase, what is the ratio that's set? Because usually you determine that by making your pair. But how does that work on Surge exactly?
So,
go ahead.
So
You're back.
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I just quickly dropped off. I don't know why, but it's very straightforward. You set the liquidity parameter in the contract before deploying. So you can say, for example, my current liquidity is 10,000 SRG tokens, for example. Or you can do the calculations, how much US dollars that is. That equals the starting market cap, because 100% of the supply is held by the smart contract, the token smart contract at launch. This is a default. So at launch, the liquidity and the starting market cap are the same. So now you set this starting liquidity, and as soon as the first person bought, it is exactly the same as if you are trading on PancakeSwap or Uniswap. So the price impact, the price impact and everything, what makes the price move up and down is exactly the same as in Uniswap or PancakeSwap.
That's genius. Cool. Thanks again. DC, it's all you, man. Thank you for letting me ask a question.
Real quick too, STF, did you mention it this way? I mean, you may have passed me, like, if you did, but the way you explained how it mints to the contract versus minting to a wallet, that was like a big difference, where it was like the aha moment. Once we said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's how it all works, right? Like the token mints it to itself versus like the somebody's like deployer wallet.
Yeah, because it's vice versa. In a token that we are used to, in air quotes, which you would launch on PancakeSwap, the deployer gets all the supply when he creates the contract. So the tokens are minted into his wallet, and then he creates a liquidity pool by pairing a portion of these tokens with BNB or ETH. and the rest, he can do whatever he wants with that. He can burn those tokens, he can airdrop those tokens, he can do whatever. So in Surge, this is fundamentally different, because when you deploy the contract, the whole supply is inside of the token contract, not in the deployer wallet. And that's why you do not need any starting liquidity, because there is no holder that would need to be able to sell at launch.
It's a really unique idea. So, like, are you guys going to move on to any other EVMs?
It's in the roadmap. We first want to make the protocol more widespread adopted on BSC and on ETH, because those are obviously the two biggest chains. And yeah, like expanding to more EVMs is in plans, but not in immediate plans. But it's definitely a thing we will do.
One thing to, I guess, end with here, Matic guys will love this. Like, Matic is a really weird chain, and security and stability are mostly their thing. And, like, I think you guys vibe completely with their very culty following, which is awesome.
I do agree. It's a very interesting chain with interesting people on the chain. They're very tech savvy as well. So
extraordinarily tech savvy. And you'll see a chart sit at 300K for a week before with no miser sells, and then it goes from there. It's amazing. It is. All right. I love you guys. That is all.
Love you.
Great questions right there, Achilles. All righty. One thing, I got a couple questions.
Heisman got his hands up as well. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. You can cut me off for Heisman here.
Hey, man. Sorry for being late.
There we go. Okay. There he is. All right, cool. So, man, one thing that I want to know as well is how many people are behind the project?
Here we are, us three. We are a small team, which also gave us the power to really launch this project silently, without any leaks, without any weird occurrences. And we can definitely trust each other. So this is us. Of course, I think I know what your next question will be. As the project grows, we of course will see the need to expand the team. Just because of the huge communication that will come along having widespread adoption. Many investors having questions that need to be answered. Of course, we will stay a team of 3 in the core, but we will expand the team as the project grows.
Yeah. All right. Now the other question I had, you gotta give me a few seconds to think of it, because oh yeah, okay, here we go. That's what it was. All right, here it is. So when it comes to on-ramping, so people can buy through your website, or they could buy directly through the contract, which is the method I use. It's actually very quick and easy. Do you see bringing on new investors as an issue in the future?
We will always promote both ways in order to buy SRG or sell SRG. I think I didn't quite show how exactly it works. It's very easy. If you see it on the screen, this is the token contract, and this is how you buy 1 BNB worth of SRG. One with 10 zeros or more. 1 BNB, slippage is 99%, because I said the slippage is not really needed, because we have a built-in front-runner protection. So you can set slippage 99. This is the equivalent of it. Then you press right, and then you bought the tokens. And on sell, it's the other way around. So but the thing we see is that it is actually a bit more convenient to use the swap we provide in order to buy these SRG20 tokens. Because you need to approve the contract, the SRG20 token contract on the original SRG contract, and then you can buy the tokens using the token contract from SRG20. This sounded a bit confusing, but I think it makes sense to explain it that way. The swap is a bit easier to use than BSC scan or Etherscan. That's why we will push the usage of the swap over the Blockchain Explorer. But everyone can use whatever he likes.
But we're also still like refining this. Like that's a process for STF and I too, and Heisemann is like we're constantly refining that process in terms of getting people in, getting them to the homepage, and then turning them into a holder, right? So like with our tools and everything that we're developing from the ground up, like it's a learning process the entire time through, because we're constantly flowing. Like we're hearing the reception of the community, we're hearing their feedback. We're kind of taking that into account with what we can do in the immediate future, how we can modify things and whatnot. So like we're always refining our pitch essentially to simplify it. And as we get more things on that swap, and as the process gets a little bit more clear for us, then I think that it's going to be more and more refined from the UI of the swap and its functionality down to, I guess, how we present that to a brand new person who's coming to the homepage for the first time. Like it's all going to be refined. And I think it's all just kind of a growth that comes together over time with experience in the protocol.
All righty. Well, as far as one last question too. What are some of the marketing plans you guys got for the future? We always got to talk about marketing in our AMAs.
Yeah, I'll touch on that one. So marketing has been very much so driven towards getting the community active. I say it's probably been our major one, is getting the community riled up, offering some good incentives for our community to go out there and create content for us. We originally had it slated for a very quick turnaround time. A learning lesson for us. We actually ended up extending it at the perfect time, right when we started to catch like that second leg of traction, right? I think it was like, maybe a weekend or so, we started to really feel this like momentum pick up. Like I think all of us did in the core chat. We were like, okay, like things are moving, even though the chart's not going crazy right now, like it just feels like something's brewing here. And I think that's when we extended it, and that's when we kicked in the content creation, and it kept growing. Like we just kept getting more and more traction. And then towards the end, we were getting, we got tons and tons of content out there on Medium, on Twitter threads, on YouTube videos. All of it was geared towards how-to element, right? Because we wanted this to have the same kind of a safe mood approach where how to do it, because it's so new, is essential. So having that content everywhere, how to buy it, how to swap it, how to interact in this ecosystem, all of those videos, articles, and threads were absolutely essential. And so instead of us paying for it, right, going to each of these individual content creators and being like, hey, I'll give you $50, I'll give you $20, I'll give you $100, whatever the case is, we just threw a huge price out there. And obviously, it finally caught traction. We got a ton of content out there, which I really attribute a lot of the success to. And then also, obviously, a lot of great Telegram channels. You guys, just about everybody, I think, has been really supporting us, which has been awesome. But in terms of like our future vision, we're going to keep it to that like refined approach, right? Not so much in the hype driven. We want to build a top 100 token here. And that's the big like differentiator. I think we all have ambitions to, when we're in whatever project we're in, we want it to be a top 100, but we really see, I guess, the vision, the path to getting there with something like this. It's very viable. So we don't want to make a critical mistake that would put us in a bad position by doing like a ton of influencer focused marketing. You're going to see just a lot more of us capitalizing on opportunities that show up that really feel like they have a high level to them, right? Like a long lasting impact. That's primarily kind of how I evaluate opportunities and things like that. Is like, in terms of something that we put out there would be like a front page CMC article after we get listed as like as a DEX on CMC. It would be correlated in some big momentum building milestone in the project. we're going to really focus about bringing the quality eyes around those moments and bringing people into the ecosystem and whatnot around those moments. So like when it comes to the marketing side, I think that's probably like the best way to kind of describe it, or to kind of give you an example of what we're doing. We love the YouTube approach. I'm still going to stay active on YouTube, in Twitter and Telegram. We have a lot of long-term partnerships. So our focus is getting everybody who's going to update us on every milestone. I don't want to pay a one-off person to make a one-off content or article for us or something like that. I want them to be somebody that stays in and gives us 4 per week, so that they can update every single time, because we have a lot of updates in this project, a lot of things, a lot of communication that needs to happen. So I want to get, obviously, as much out there that lasts as long as it can from the marketing side of things.
Got you. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Last question. Would you guys ever launch on PancakeSwap?
No. Next question.
Cool. Alrighty. I am done with. Alrighty.
Okay, no. I think no. Jokes aside, it is really not what we want to do, because we see ourselves as active rivals of PancakeSwap. So it would kind of compromise what we stand for, right? So that's why. No.
Agreed, 100%. Alrighty. So, without further ado, this has been fantastic. I think the team is legit. I think the project is legit. And I very rarely say this, but I will say it right here. I bought a few times, and I am not going to sell anything, not even a penny, until at least multi-millions. Okay? At least. So you guys, I love the team. I love the utility. I love the project. I love what it can do. And I myself, if I were to tell my brother or give my brother any type of advice, I'm not giving y'all financial advice. I'm talking to my brother here. I would advise that the closest, quickest dip you could get, for him to ape that. And I would advise for him to always hold and never sell anything. Because me personally, I am about sick and freaking tired of other people getting in on the next PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and somebody who's less knowledgeable, less intelligent, less rooted in the space, putting less work in the space, making hundreds of thousands of dollars that they're going to lose 99.9% of it in like a month, and me not getting that. So I would tell my brother to buy some, and no matter how many profits you take, always hold. But without further ado, if the team doesn't have anything else to say, I'm going to move over to the community and they can ask questions.
I think we're ready for some questions. What do you think, Albino, Heisenman?
Yeah,
Let's
we're
do
ready.
it.
All right. Let's go for Last Kenpachi first. Last Kenpachi, your mic is now being unmuted and you can ask your question.
Hi there. Just one thing, something compounding on what earlier Achilles was asking. Steve, what do you think? Will this surge will sort of break the trend of the pre-sale and launchpad meta in a way? How do you see this going forward?
I do not see us ending anything else. It's just my personal view on things, right? So I do not think that our success will mean that PancakeSwap stops existing. I don't think it's realistic, but I think we will provide a very, very good alternative to it. And by saying that, I mean that for token projects, there are different ways and different needs for a project to consider, and I think our protocol meets the requirements for most of the token projects that you see in our DeFi space right now. So there is a need for us. There is a use case for us. So I think we will have we will be close, or maybe one day, you never know. Maybe one day we will also be in front of PancakeSwap.
Okay, since you're saying you're making the comparison between a PancakeSwap and yourself, what I would say is, how do you envision this? Like, let's say I'm a dev, I am doing a pre-sale with certain launchpad. How do I get how do I do both? How do I get in this launch through Surge, and as well as raise some pool on a launchpad? How these two things connect?
I mean, I can chip in there. I mean, they can easily, like a launchpad could easily integrate the Surge protocol. It's not complicated at all. The same process goes. So people will donate whatever, some money. Let's say, so in Surge, obviously to launch through Surge, you need to raise Surge. You don't raise BNB or whatnot. Everything should be done in Surge. And that's why the protocol is so lucrative, because, like, imagine PancakeSwap, where all the tokens on PancakeSwap only use Cake. So that's a big some selling point for the protocol. But anyway, back to the Launchpad stuff. So let's say the Launchpad raises, I don't know, 1,000 Surge, all right? They can easily set the starting liquidity to be like whatever the dev wants it to be. Let's say they're taking 50%, so they set the starting liquidity to be 5,000 Surge within the Surge protocol, the SRG20 protocol, and then they supply the 50% that they raised there to the contract, and it's done. It's that simple. So from a Launchpad perspective, it's super easy to integrate the SRG20 protocol.
I'm still not sure how to I work, because the price is determined by the first buyer, right? And in case of the meta, the pre-launch and everything.
No, that's inaccurate. That's inaccurate. So the price is set at the inception of the contract. Yeah, it doesn't matter if somebody buys or if they don't buy. The price is set whenever the contract is there. Right. So anybody who wants to buy, they will need to adhere to the liquidity curve provided by the liquidity and the token pairing, in a sense, within the contract. So, like, for example, if somebody is buying more at the start or buying less, that would affect his price impact, just like the way it will impact him on PancakeSwap with the same real liquidity, let's say, as opposed to the theoretical liquidity which is provided in Surge. So yeah, that's mainly it. So it's not really about the first buy or not. Whenever the contract is released, the liquidity is set or the price is set. You don't need any buys to set the price.
Yeah, but that sort of contradicts with the meta, right? Because right now the price is set on depending on how much I raise through a fair launch or let's say a subscription. So these sort of things decide how is that going to be.
Yeah, no, but again, they can do the raise first, and then the contract automatically sets the liquidity according to the raise. So whatever price you need according to the raise you'll have, right? So whatever you can do with the normal tokens, you can do the same with the Surge. So there's no difference. Yeah, it's just us talking a little bit to the people providing the Launchpad, and it can be easily integrated, like maximum, I don't know, half a day's work or something.
Yeah, I think
all right. I'll try
also
to
existing launchpads can easily adapt to us, as any existing decentralized application could adapt to us or integrate Surge protocol.
Yeah, just like we're able to migrate any token to us, it's the same as raising liquidity in a sense, right? So you're raising liquidity from a migration and then applying it to a contract. So it's the same thing. Yeah, but the additional beautiful thing about Surge is that if you have a good utility and you don't really need to raise funds to do like mass marketing right off the bat, you can just set your initial liquidity, which you think is the minimum worth of your token in a sense, or your company, or your startup, and then trading can start from there without any additional funds. So if you have a good utility, you're a good dev, you have some connections to like kickstart your startup, then you can just set the liquidity to whatever you want, and then the trading starts, and you can start collecting some taxes for future expansions. And at the same time, you will be having a lot of exposure from us, from the ecosystem, because the ecosystem, like the Surge ecosystem, is beautiful. Everybody's helping each other out. Everybody, right? Even myself, although I have a lot on my plate, I take the time to help any new dev who is having troubles with contracts, to explain explain it to them, and to make sure that the contract is safe before launching. So yeah, it's really helpful. It's really lucrative for new devs to launch through the Surge ecosystem rather than going through the BNB route, where they get sniped off live pairs and then dumped for like, I don't know, $10 profit or $5 profit, and that's it, and the project is dead.
Yeah, well, I was looking at it as Surge at the only tool for, let's say, stealth buys, but now I understand it better. Just quick forward question. Are you in partnership with any of the Launchpad yet, or are in talks with any to integrate Surge into their platform?
I do not want to speak about partnerships that we didn't publish yet, so need to skip on that question. I'm sorry.
All good, man. All good. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, DC, as well.
Thank you, sir. Let's see. Let's go to PCI. PCI, go ahead.
Hey guys, hello. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great, thank you. I wanted to ask this because I think this is something important. So you seem very experienced in this space, but how are you going to reach to all these people who is using other exchanges? So instead of using those to change to Surge, and I know tokenomics and facts speak for themselves, but you know, a new person to crypto, for example, the first thing they see or knows about is PancakeSwap or Uniswap to start with, right? So how are you going to replace the first thing they see is Surge instead, because that will be a game changer for the project? What will be those movement or key points from you, since this has an insane potential to become the greatest, replace the others?
Albino, I think this is a question for you.
Yeah, I'm just getting some free space here. In terms of like how we kind of capture that I mean, the question is basically like, how do we capture the non-crypto audience, right?
Yeah, kind of, because the first thing they see when they enter crypto is the other exchanges. Instead of using those that has fees, the other stuff, to see Surge instead.
Yeah, for sure. I guess first off, I would preface it with, I don't think that we will full on outright, and definitely not by any means overnight. It will be a process, but I don't think we're going to necessarily replace completely PancakeSwap or Uniswap. But what I do know is that there is enough people in there that value true DeFi and early steps to truer DeFi to actually come over and give us some market share. Now, once we have that market share, things are going to grow, right? Like everything grows. With more market share comes more marketing dollars, and our ability to reach more people and get a broader reach in general just becomes more likely, right? Like, because we have more funding, and everything else comes in. So as we grow, our marketing approaches grow as well. It's going to scale as well, and I think that we are always going to have a really fundamental approach to just focusing on a conversion tunnel, right? Like if we're focusing on YouTube and we give them the link, or we give them an incentive or some sort of call to action to click that link in the video description, then in that video link there's going to be a conversion tunnel, right? And it's going to have an intention behind it. Like if I send somebody somewhere, if I have links in there, there's going to be an intention behind it, and that's eventually where we're going to get to when it comes to I guess converting people. And then in terms of getting in front of them first, I think that's just going to be a battle of, again, gaining market share, right? Like if we're doing things the right way, we should be popping up in top YouTube filters when people put in their altcoin or microcap or whatever the case is, or those kind of things. Like, we want to be, and we have the ability to be on the top of those search filters with enough momentum, right? Like with enough, gaining enough of that market share slowly over time. That's gonna enable us to do that kind of higher level stuff and to be in the front, the forefront of everybody's eyes.
Also,
Yeah.
I would like to add on that one. You actually, if you are a new crypto investor, it's rarely the case that you enter the DeFi space because of the marketing that PancakeSwap is doing or Uniswap is doing. It is that you use those DEXs in order to get your hands on a token that is trading on there. So it is a synergy between the projects that are on our protocol and ourselves. While the main difference here is that PancakeSwap offers liquidity pools paired with BNB or BUSD, and in our case, the trading pair is SRG, the token. So the more tokens that launch as an SRG20 token that is paired with SRG, the more the demand for SRG increases, and therefore, obviously, the price of SRG increases.
And the exposure too. That's another part. I think you already hit that too. Like, that was a good point that I forgot to touch on. It's just the ability to get that exposure through those all those other projects that are launching as well. Just kind of gets the name out there. But the how-to approach seems to be the way forward, because we have a slightly different, or like a little bit of a learning curve for how to buy our token, how to interact with our ecosystem. That how-to approach is essential, just to kind of summarize that.
Yeah, that is totally true. Another thing that could go along and do well, I think, is a wallet. So is any future plan for a Surge wallet? So you could directly interact with Surge on its derivatives.
There are no immediate plans for it, because we are compatible with MetaMask and Trust Wallet, which are very widely used in the space. And I think, I didn't verify it myself, but I think we are also compatible with any other DeFi wallet, like Crow. What's their name even? The Crypto.com DeFi wallet, and maybe we will see a project that creates a wallet app that exclusively works for SRG20 tokens. We will see. Like, this is one of the beauties of being this early in this protocol, that we will still see many firsts, like the first staking project in Surge, the first NFT marketplace in Surge, you name it. Like, anything that you have seen or maybe have not seen yet can be built as a first on Surge now. So this is the extent on how early we are right now.
Yeah, all great things takes time to build. So that is true. Thanks for your time. Surge to the moon. Thank you, Z.
Thank you.
No problem, PCI. PCI in the building. Let's go for Greed. Okay, Greed, go ahead.
Hey, DC. Thanks. Yeah, I just have a simple question with the team. What do you think are the loopholes if we're going to deploy our token on Surge as a developer? And what other benefits will the users get that's not part of the website, that's not included on the website?
I'll step in first with like a really I guess it would be kind of a cheesy one, but we have a super supportive just I'm not a developer at all, so I'm just giving like a really like my snapshot of it. But obviously our developer network is super tight in terms of Heisenman's ability to help and everything else. I just thought that like a really tight knit developer network, being at the forefront of that at such an early stage, is like a really cool feeling as well. Hold on, my kids are yelling, so I got to get off there. But go ahead, my bad.
So yeah, I think the benefits speak for themselves. As in, there are no trading fees for using the DEX, which is Search Swap, and also you do not need any initial funding in order to enable trading. So you can set the starting price of your token project manually without. I don't even want to call it that way, but many people feel that way, without selling yourself in order to do pre-sale marketing, and those are huge benefits just to kickstart your project. So anyone who has a solid idea now can just go ahead without depending on any initial funding. So those are huge benefits for that speak for launching on Surge right now.
Okay. Can you tell me more? Is there any loopholes that's going to happen in case on your contract or anything?
Well, if we were aware of any loopholes, we wouldn't be here. No, we audited the contract with Solid Proof, and there are no issues that should concern anyone. So no.
Yeah, I don't think there are any loopholes in the contract whatsoever. I mean, if there were, I'm pretty sure a lot of devs would have already exploited it. So yeah, I don't think, like, I believe there is none to be there. As for the SRG20s, as long as they're following the templates, there should not be any issue. Any template that is becoming innovative or something like that, investors for sure need to be like checking it before investing. In the end, this is DeFi, this is code. So any new launches, people should have some dev look at it. And like our community is very like nice in that like any new launch that's being like deployed on our network or within our ecosystem, you see a lot of devs commenting or pointing out any changes or stuff like that. So that's really something nice from a decentralized perspective of security in a sense.
All right. I see. Would also last question, DZ, if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Will there be also like a open for like a forum for those developers who would like to create a project on the Surge platform?
Yeah,
And
there is actually. It is
aside from
a
Telegram or aside from Telegram or outside Telegram.
Maybe yes. Currently, it's working pretty well on Telegram. We see that especially decentralized finance is oftentimes linked with anonymity. So people just prefer to not dox themselves for whatever reason. Doesn't have to be anything suspicious or something, but just don't feel comfortable giving away their identity. And Telegram is actually a great platform for this. And we are currently meeting in Telegram, but if we see the need, we can always open a forum on another platform. That goes without saying. Like
Okay.
it just requires the need.
All right, I see. All right, I think that'll be it. Thanks for answering, guys, and thanks, DC. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All righty. Let's get Vincent up. Vincent, go ahead, man. Vincent, go ahead, bro.
Hi, DC.
What's going on, man?
Thanks for giving me the opportunity. So, my question is, in regard to the utility being built, we'd like to know if there is, or if you guys will be implementing a video tutorial on how one can make use of those utility, like deploying contracts using your swap and so on. You know, most people could find it very beneficial as they are also novice in the space. And also, sorry, can you briefly tell us what are your challenges you face while developing this project and coming up with this great concept?
I'm so sorry. Can you maybe put the question in other words?
Okay, Mina should repeat. Okay, I'm asking if you guys will be implementing a video tutorial on how one can make use of those utility, like learning on how to deploy contract using your project or using your swap and so on. You know, most people could find it very beneficial as they are also novice in the space. And can you also briefly tell us what are the challenges you face while developing this project and coming up with this great concept?
Yeah, I can take that question. First off, I think there's already one of the community members who created a video or a Medium article about how to deploy with us. But for sure, we'll have some official videos down the line, maybe not too far from here, to help people in deploying. And in all cases, until that is like released and done, anybody who's thinking about launching a project and is not really very comfortable with handling the code, they can talk to me to set them on the right path in a sense on what do they need to change to get their project started. So that's for the first part. For the second part, we actually there's not like they're not like complicated challenges actually. It took us, I've worked on the contract for a couple months just to iron out a lot of stuff and to make sure that everything is working properly. Usually, it's not the coding that takes time; it's the testing. So after you're done coding, you need to like really thoroughly test stuff before releasing it into production. So that is what took most time. So testing, yeah, generally testing is like the major challenge for us. Apart from that, actually, the contract makes it super easy to get a lot of stuff that needed some heavy blockchain work to get, like for example, candlesticks for charts or volumes or individual volumes or stuff like that. Like you can find everything directly on the contract, so it makes life actually super easy for us.
Oh, cool. All right. DC, please can you permit me to ask my last question?
Go ahead.
Hello? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, there's also something I come across while going through your white paper, where it is written that project owners can launch their project using the Surge ecosystem and pair their token with SROG, which serve as a liquidity. With the little knowledge I have in crypto, I would love you to clarify me on this. I don't know why I feel it's unsafe. Would you clarify me on how it doesn't serve as a bad effect later on to Surge, and how do you intend to prevent it from taking a big toll on your project and this liquidity?
I don't understand what's the problem. I didn't actually get the question, but do you mean like the price impact of Surge and the effect of that on the other projects? Is that the question?
No, I'm asking where you guys wrote in your white paper that projects can launch using your Surge ecosystem and pair their token with SROG, which will serve as a liquidity to them. I'm asking if that wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, wouldn't it take a big toll on your project and its liquidity? If no, can you clarify me?
No, actually, that's the main driver of growth for us. So a lot of projects will be paired with SRG. A lot of SRG will be filling those contracts. SRG will become more and more scarce. So SRG price will, at least the price floor will be growing, in my opinion, in an exponential manner. Yeah. So actually, that's a big plus for us, and all the projects who are using SRG as an underlying pair. So I don't believe it's a problem for us in any way, shape, or form. It's just like when you have BNB and then you have a lot of projects using BNB as a pair. It's the same analogy. So it's actually not bad. It's actually super good for us. And that paired with tokens starting to burn Surge, holders just holding Surge because they see the great potential, and a lot of reward tokens are being released on the daily now, which will spread out Surge to a lot of holders as well. All those elements will be the main drivers of having such exponential growth for the price moving forward and for the system. So the system and the price will be working in tandem in a sense. Yeah. So I don't see it as a negative. I see it as a huge plus for us that people are using Surge as an underlying. Again, you need to think like if PCS forced all the tokens under it to use Cake as LP, I mean that would have been a major booster for PCS in a sense, and that's what we're doing here at Surge.
Great explanation, and I'm happy to come across this project. At least one knows how the DeFi space have changed drastically with lots of this coming off the investor. If such team continues working on this project in the long term and keep increasing their partnership, I'm definitely sure Surge will make a big name in DeFi space because I'm among the investors who is tired of buying rocks almost every time. Thanks for the explanation, and thanks DC for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it, man.
You
Thank
are
you, man. We appreciate
absolutely not welcome, Vincent. I'm just messing with you, bud. You better come back. You're always welcome. All righty. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go to Pew Pew, y'all. Pew Pew, y'all. Go ahead, man. Ask your question.
I think he dropped out of the VC. Oh, no, he's not unmuted. Wait. Now he is.
Got this here, you muted me by mistake.
there
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
What's up, man? You unmuted. Go ahead, bro. You good.
Hey, okay, all good, all good. Thanks for having me, DC. Thank you, Serge. Amazing milestones achieving again. Day in, day out, checking out the Telegram, and probably everyone already saw my name out there as well in the chat, but it's crazy to see you pull off, guys, from 5K market cap to like $1 million on both chains almost, let's say. Anyways, congratulations, guys. But my question is actually, Stefan, you were talking about it in chat as well back in the days a little bit, and how will you be actually implementing like on existing tools like DEX tools, the protocol? How will you be integrating it?
It's actually pretty straightforward because, first of all, thank you for your one word. It's actually straightforward. Because DEX tools and other charting systems, they just need to agree to implement a new protocol, as they also need to agree to integrate a new blockchain. So you see, last year, AVAX came out with their blockchain from zero to hero. And all of a sudden, all of the charting systems that were around at that time decided, okay, it's time for us to support AVAX as well. So and the same thing for Kronos. So in our case, though, we are trading on the two major blockchains on the two major blockchains EVM wise, and it's just a matter of paperwork, to sum it up. So we provide the paperwork and then they list us. That's it.
All right. Yeah, it makes sense. I was just thinking, yeah, like you were saying, AVAX is like a chain and Surge isn't. So I was just making sure, like, yeah, it's just a matter of time, I suppose. Because the protocol as well, in comparison with a chain, takes less time, I suppose, as well. So, yeah. Anyways, it's bullish.
Yeah, And to be honest, we don't need more chains. I mean, I don't see the
I,
point of more chains.
that's super true. Well,
Yeah,
that was
there
my
are
question.
more than enough.
Thanks for having me, and thank you, DC.
Absolutely, man. No problem. Let me see. Who else we got up? Let's go for Space Ranger. Space Ranger, your mic's unmuted. Space Ranger, your mic's unmuted, brother.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say thanks for giving me this great opportunity. My question here is are you a global project or local project at present? Which market are you focused on, or is it focused on building and growing to gain customer users and partners? I don't know if you get that question.
Well, you are you referring to what kind of audience
What?
we are targeting with our marketing?
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the main audience we are trying to reach are those that believe in the power of decentralization. To sum it up, like it can be an investor that trades decentralized, the guys that don't use centralized exchanges to store their coins in. Um, Talking about developers that write in Solidity and come up with great ideas. Talking about investors that just casually tune in and see what's currently the new trend in DeFi and try their luck and invest in that. So it's actually a broad audience which just continuously grows as the DeFi space itself grows as well. So cryptocurrencies as a whole are not yet as widespread adopted as we envision it. Like the greatest milestones for crypto are still ahead. Like official adoption of some cryptocurrencies by some governments besides El Salvador, maybe. But you feel me, right? So you just have an ever growing audience of people that have the need to trade in a decentralized manner.
Okay. Thanks for answering that question. You answered my question. I thought about this. I just want to know what are the strongest advantage of your project that you think will lead your team to a better market?
Sorry, I didn't get this question.
I said what are the strongest advantages of your project that you think will lead your team to a better market?
Yeah, I mean, I can take that as well. Again, we're solving a ton of problems in DeFi. The first one is dead liquidity, which people are just pouring into projects and never using again. That liquidity is just left there. Nobody is using again. It's useless. Yeah, so it's not being used to pump new projects. So we're solving that as a Surge ecosystem. Second, within the design of our contracts, there is no access for the developer to the liquidity pool without the consent of the holders. So anybody following the Surge 20 templates uh, would not have access to any liquidity unless the holders want them to get access to that. So they will need to be sending their tokens in for the liquidity to be drained. Otherwise, there is no way to access the liquidity. Thirdly, we're giving developers with bright ideas a fighting chance in this ugly world because to start any project right now, you will need to pay a ton to be able to manage a pre-sale. you need to pay like a ton for marketers and for the providers to be able to manage a pre-sale, which is unjust in a sense. So we're evening out the playing field for brilliant devs who have brilliant utility ideas but have no funding. They can just kickstart their project right away with their utility in place, and investors can feel safe investing in that project. And then the project like only has one way to go, right? So that's another big thing we're doing in this space. Lastly, I do believe we're creating like a mega supporting ecosystem for projects. Developers, the community, all of them are supporting every new launch on the system as long as it's like decent, right? So you can't like support scam developers or just farmers, right? So yeah, building a community, giving developers a fighting chance, removing the dead liquidity issues, drastically reducing unjust LP manipulation. So we are actually solving a ton of issues in this space, and yeah, I mean that's what makes Surge so beautiful.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for answering my question and thanks for giving me this great opportunity, DC. Great questions today.
You are welcome, sir. Let's go to Aviator. Let's go, Aviator. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna just take one more question. All right, Jay, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Now we can't. Okay, he's back.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So my question is really simple. Like I do not know the programming language you use in building the whole ecosystem of your project, but you might have heard about the new AI that was introduced lately, which is the ChatGPT. And what's flying around, I've been able to ask a lot of persons who have been able to use it, and they are coming back with the same feedback. Now, my question is, do you see the what's spreading around are like with the ChatGPT, a project owner like yourself would not be needing a dev team, for example. All you need to do is just input one or two codes and it brings out the rest. So do you see the ChatGPT as a helping hand to like help with dev teams of your project, or do you see it as a means to kind of like help to drop cost in employing a dev team when what's the need of employing a dev team whereby an AI could do the jobs that these dev teams could do? Take, for example, some top developing countries like China, for example, are integrating this into most of the businesses. So do you see these as also a means that you could do something like this, or you see that something that could actually be of a helping hand to you and to your dev teams?
So yeah, I'll step in there as well. I do believe ChatGPT is an amazing product. I do use it myself because it makes things easier. It doesn't give you a full solution, to be honest. It's not super smart when it comes to coding, but when you want to code something, it's good to have like the framework there, and then you fix some stuff rather than you building it from scratch, right? So you can ask GPT, okay, code me this. It'll give a partial solution. It's sometimes great, sometimes not, but if you're not a true coder, you wouldn't be able to adjust what the output of this ChatGPT and make it a proper product, right? So it is a super helpful tool which any coder should use to set up the framework or to start off the code or to get snippets. But in the end, if you're not a good coder yourself, you can't really use it properly, in a sense.
I like that fact. I love that because it's wonderful having to know that most persons are kind of they want the fact that the ChatGPT could be of a big helping hand to your project itself, and it's really wonderful. And I like that in case of some upcoming utilities that might be coming up to help enhance and broaden the ecosystem, and it's really great. Anyways, thank you so much for your answer, and thank you, DC.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty. Well, we got to wrap it up after that one. Man, dude, appreciate you being here. Okay. And Surge is about to hit a new all-time high if it didn't already. Hold up a second. Did it hit 1.3 million? Did it hit 1.3 million? Let me look.
Currently ETH is like crazy. Like, look at this.
Dude, we're at 1,082,000. About to hit 1.4 million.
ETH was creeping up.
Okay, so what did I tell you guys about what I would tell my brother a moment ago? You guys remember what I said when I tell my brother to do? I hope y'all were listening to that. Not financial advice. I'm just saying I hope you heard our conversation, you know.
Yeah, I can't express financial advice either, but I'm very, very, very confident that this project has still a lot to offer. Like, we are just getting started with the things we are doing. We had a very smooth start with a solid community behind us, helping us and just spreading the word about us. And from here, like, it's a very, very, very comfortable situation to be in from a dev team perspective, that we can confidently say building more from here, from this point in the project is just amazing. Like, it's an amazingly good situation we are in, and really looking forward to the future.
And I want to make this perfectly clear. If Bitcoin was like at $80,000 or $100,000 right now, it would have been. I just want to make that clear.
I'm not sure, because I also read a comment in our chat that is actually pretty interesting to think about. The guy said, and I quote, "I think all the rug pulls and scams I invested in the last year only existed to prepare me mentally for Surge, or to remind me about why Surge is so much needed." So maybe I think the timing for coming up with this project from our side was perfect. After all these scandals that show that decentralization is so needed in our space, just to take power away from those that have ill intentions, are acting in an egoistic way, and like misusing customer funds, anything like that. We are just taking the power away from those people and giving it away, giving this power back to the investors and also the developers that have good intentions.
Absolutely. Well, all right, guys. So, last question goes to Last Patch. Last Patch. You want to keep, please? I go to Last Patch. He's okay.
It's just for me, brother, but your mic is breaking up. Could just be me.
Yeah, I thought it's on my end, but no, I think it's on his end.
All right. And now, the first trivia question. Let me go into.
Hold on, DC. We lost you that entire time, buddy. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you're cutting out quite a bit.
By the way, meanwhile, are you witnessing this chart in the background? Like, I can't help but smile. Like this is really amazing.
Yeah, man, ETH caught up so quick. Like it just kind of crept up. I looked at it this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I had to go actually. That's why I looked at my bags and sent you that thing about the website because that's where I found it.
Yeah, yeah. No, by the way, also meanwhile, while DC is getting back in, what investors can expect from us is to continuously improve the tools that we provide, like the chart you're seeing in the background. It's working very well, but it's still an early version. More functions to come, and so the swap will also be continuously improved. The dashboard
Yeah, I
we
mean,
provide and everything.
I mean, STF has seen the endless dev list we have for
Yeah.
the project. So it'll only get better. It'll only get better always and forever, to be honest. So I mean, it rhymes, so it must be true, right? So so yeah.
And what I can say from my perspective is Heisenman always sends us these dev lists in our core chat, and Heisenman is one of these devs that just work through it without stopping. Like he's just not stopping on working on these things. Like he says, okay, today I will do this, and then today he releases this. Like it's not like any time rugging, I would say, but it's like on point. You can rely on him. He gives realistic thoughts about it, and it's really like working in this team of three is really a blessing for me.
Indeed, man. We're excited for more to come. And of course, I know you guys are busy. You don't have to hang around for our giveaway. I'm probably about to move on to it without DC. So, yeah, but you're more than welcome to chill. I need to now.
Yeah, on my end,
Awesome.
I'll have to dip. I need to go back to my coding cave. It's been a pleasure being here, and thanks a lot for having us, or having me as well. And yeah, looking forward for the future. And I'm pretty sure, like, we will be doing our full potential to get Surge into the top 100 tokens. I mean, I just see it, to be honest. So yeah, thanks again, and yeah, see you later, I guess.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
so
It was
much for having us, Dumbledore.
always, man. Yeah, pleasure having you guys. Everybody take care. And yeah, look forward to
See
more
you
to
over
come.
there.
Yes, sir. Okay. Guys, we're gonna do some pretty. I've been working on this YouTube thing the entire time they were doing this, so I was kind of in and out of the conversation. But I'm gonna hit y'all with some trivia questions, and they may be pretty simple as a result. Because while I know extensively about Surge, I can't think of one question to really ask you guys about the project. But I might get a little tricky for you guys. So let's go to the comments section. Let me see here. Why don't we go to the most recent comment post where Achilles posted an AI play down here. And there's only 8 comments there, so why don't everyone go to that post now? All right. And all right, it's going to be a pretty easy question. Okay, but it might be a little tricky. Okay. Get ready, guys. I'm going to do it. When did Surge launch on PooCoin? Nah, Greed got it. There we go. I'll give it to you, Greed. Never. They had not on PooCoin. Doesn't exist, guys. So that is winner number 1 of trivia. Okay. Let me see here. Let's see here. Might have to actually look up a trivia question. You know, I'm gonna give one that I've actually. Let's do some. Let's do one I've actually done before. Let me make sure I've got my facts right. This won't have anything to do with the project. True trivia. Yeah, someone did, but that wasn't them. That was never them. They did not ever add LP to PancakeSwap. That was they were warning about that. So guys, like, if you're in there, don't look for these projects on PooCoin or Pancake. They don't exist. Some jerkhead did that. But all right, next trivia question. It's more like a science question. All right. What creature has 32 brains? Hey, Mind Flare, you mind read me, man. You actually fucking read me. I give it to you. Gosh. Okay. I'm gonna give some Haven trivia now. I'm gonna give some Haven trivia. We got one more trivia. I mean, I didn't want to. Honestly, if you've been in our AMAs and paying attention, like, yeah, you know, you earned that one. I gave you some hints. Let me see. You know, I'm gonna do a random trivia question. If I do the Haven trivia, you guys already know what I'm gonna say. Oh, let's see. You know, okay, we'll do Haven trivia. All right. This is the last question. We did a best question. We did 2 trivia questions. So this is the last question. What is the name of Achilles' cat? Oh, PCI. All right. All right. You guys are on today. You guys are on it, man. Okay, guys. Awesome having you here. We really enjoy. Achilles is his dog's name, guys, for the record. So those do pop up time to time. Yeah, PCI, you saw it, man. You guys got me red today. But everyone, thank you for joining. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. This is a great project. We've been kind of shouting it from the rooftops. And while we don't give financial advice here, as DC said, if he was to recommend someone in his family, you know, a coin to look at, you know, he would definitely probably suggest this one. The team is safe. We know that. And they definitely are trying to be as transparent as possible and just create a safer place for us that we really need. And hopefully, as more projects like this come along, you know, we're going to see just more transparency and integrity in these projects and less fear, and more people that lost their butts last year getting wrecked on scams and everything. Those guys are going to come back hopefully and spend some money back in the market. And, you know, hopefully that is the dream. DC, I see you're back in here. You want to take it? You want to say anything? I'm going to stop the recording, by the way, if I can.
Yeah.
I just stopped it.